This is boring. This has been going on for too long, and I'm not speaking about Arsenal not being in the top four. I'm used to that at this point. The top six: West Ham, Chelsea, Liverpool, Man City, dominating everything. It's gone on too long. I'm tired of it. There needs to be some parity in this league. FM22 is out, and with it comes the fantasy draft mode. So today, boys and girls, I will be putting every single Premier League player into a fantasy draft. The top pick, the number one pick, the option for the best player in the Premier League will go to Norwich City, as they're at the bottom of the table. The 20th pick, oh diddums. The team who gets the 20th best player in the Premier League, Chelsea. The draft will then reverse, so Chelsea will have the first pick in the second round, Norwich will have the last pick in the second round, then keep reversing. Obviously, just because of form parity, even if I do hate the Chelsea Red Boys, that will be fair. So, boys and girls, every single team will get 25 picks of the best English football West Ham offer, and we will see who, after is reigning supreme at the top, can Norwich take advantage of the new Americanized system that I am offering them to finally become a team that isn't just laughably pointless, maybe even win the league. Boys and girls, today we find out. So with the number one and first pick, Norwich City select Harry Kane. I'm not going to say controversial, because, you know, picking probably the best goals for in England isn't, but based on the rest of the team, I don't know if Harry's chances of ever getting a trophy have gone upwards. Chambers and Jamal Lewis are an interesting wing-back pairing. On to pick number two. It was Cristiano Ronaldo. Similarly to Harry Kane, it's a good pick, but the rest of the team... Ederson's very good, but when Jordan Henderson is the second best player, can you really win a league title with Jordan Henderson as your second best player? Newcastle, we're going to find out. And just looking at Burnley's team, I'm starting to think maybe having a high pick wasn't a good thing. Obviously, the draft snakes that reverses each time, and yeah, Edouard Mendy, Jorginho. I mean, Alonso's very good at driving down the wing. It's a very destructive fullback. We know that. Pretty deadly, but the rest of the team... Nathan Redmond isn't exactly inspiring any confidence. Aston Villa, Havertz, Mane. One of the cool things you're going to see is some duos, maybe trios starting to form. And Havertz and Mane are going to have to be a good one, because the rest of the team is just absolutely dog shit. I don't really know what Leeds' plan was here. I think they just went with no picks, just vibes. Lingard, Joelinton. Yeah. I mean, Son's a good pick, but their next highest rated outfielder was 82. Yeah. Brentford, to be fair, Brentford had a plan going into this. They got their wing backs early. Cancelo, Luke Shaw. Next up, Tone, Firmino. Not sure who the goal scorer is going to be there. But Ndidi, Kovacic, probably Callum Gallagher. Solid, hard-working midfield. You know what? I'm impressed with Brentford. Newly promoted team. Got the chance to get some pick of the players. They didn't pick the superstars. They picked solid, hard-working lads. Kasper Schmeichel, maybe a controversial high pick. You know, I'm impressed, Brentford. Fair play. I expect maybe Europa League places for them. Leicester's first pick was Mason Greenwood, which, you know, if you're building for the future, great pick. Fair play. Absolutely spotless pick. But this is a one-season thing that's going to be in the tournament mode where there's no player development. So, if we're being honest, you just look like absolute pricks. Which, to be fair, it's not the first time Leicester have. Thailand, transvestite party, anyone? Everton, no. I'm impressed with Everton. Christensen, Lindelof, Trent Alexander-Arnold, Andrew Robinson, Liverpool fullbacks in Everton. It's going to be a controversial one. Gundogan, Mount, Eze in midfield, Danny Ings a goal scorer up front. Everton got a team, boys. They may not have a superstar. They may have picked Danny Ings in the first round when De Bruyne and Van Dijk were still on the board. But they built a solid team nonetheless. I would show you the board, by the way, but the whole drafting process is very convoluted. I thought it would just be easier for me to go through the teams. Next up, low, and believe me, it took me hours to build these teams. Crystal Palace. Yeah, their team is woeful. That defense, absolutely horrible. Jamie Vardy's a good player, but that midfield, mate, Fabinho, I hope you're still taking those caffeine pumps or whatever. I know the like Liverpool caffeine asthma pumps or whatever got banned, but he's gonna need them back to be carrying Naby Keita and Tanguy Ndombele. I don't know how you managed to pick a bad Liverpool player, but in Naby Keita you generally just might have Palace. Don't see much changing for them. Tottenham, though, they just chose to hurt me. First they picked KT, and then they picked Patty Bamford. The rest of their team, it's not actually that bad. By the way, Rekic and another couple players who aren't actually from the Prem. Some players who don't exist in FIFA got picked, like Andres Pereira, for example. So I just kind of swapped them players, like for like players. Rekic swapped out for his brother. Mateus Pereira swapped out for Andres Pereira. Tottenham's attack of Teller and Watkins on the wings. It's going to be interesting. Wolverhampton. You think that's a decent team, yeah? They just picked Chelsea's defence, basically. I mean, Kepa, James, Azpilicueta, Zuma used to be there, and Colwill, another actually really high-rated young player. Keep an eye out for him. Wait till you see their striker options behind Timo Touch the Tyrant Werner, because it's just magical. First you have Timo Werner, obviously, then you have Armando Broja, then Flo Balogun, and then Troy Parrott. They've already got 66 Morgan Rogers on the wing. That's all of their attacking options. The 6 you can see right now, that's their attacking options. I don't know what they're going to do. Like, they are lucky they haven't got anything other to play than the Premier, to be perfectly honest, because it's terrible. Brighton actually did really well for themselves. They got Cavani, they got Kante, they got Højbjerg, and then I realised they literally picked one fullback. They have Tanganga, who can play fullback, but probably not wing back, and Ryan Sessegnon. And there were still fullbacks on the board. There's fullbacks who didn't get picked full stop. And they just thought, no, fuck it, we just won't pick one. Which, I mean, you know, fair play to you, lads. Fair play, you know. You go in with a 5-back with no fullbacks. Aaron Ramsdale's a good keeper. Hope he can carry you. Man United up next. And Man United were my favourite draw. There were 2,500 players apparently to pick through. I don't know how, to be perfectly honest. But there were apparently. Shouldn't have actually been more than... Oh, youth players. It's FM minutes, so it's like 90 players a team. That's right. They still had Phil Jones. Yes. Even in a fantasy draft where you get 25 picks, there's 500 teams who could, or 500 picks where Phil Jones could have gone in. He's still at Man United. Zaha finally got his move to Arsenal. And to be perfectly honest, I don't know if he's improved. Because this team is pretty dog shit. I mean, Grealish is decent, but when Grealish is your first pick, at the side, Scott Carson's 36. I'm so sorry. I hope everything is okay because you look like you've been through some shit, Scott. If you have, I promise you it'll be okay. Who the fuck is Zinkernagel, by the way? Who are you? In the bottom right there. I don't even know where he came from. He's a Premier League player, apparently. Liverpool just took Pogba and Varane. They still have Milner as a utility player somehow. Considering the next two teams, you're going to... Not the next two, rather, because West Ham still somehow got third. This is a bad team. Bad. West Ham, probably worse. They got Laporte. They got Bernardo Silva. Saka grows really quickly, so you know that. Oh wait, no, I forgot. It's a tournament mode, not a career mode, so Saka's not going to grow. They got the Caucasian Kante and John McGinn at least. They got the bird catcher in Maitland-Niles. But then you realise Man City pulled this off. Sancho, Aubameyang, Bruno Fernandes, Partey, Ruben Diaz. They had the 19th pick. The 19th. There should have been 8. There's not 18 players in the Premier League better than Bruno Fernandes and Ruben Diaz. So, I don't know how they got them. I don't. The worst part is, yeah, they aren't even the best team. They aren't. They genuinely aren't. Chelsea are. Richarlison, Sterling and Morris are already good. De Bruyne and Allen, great. Then they have fucking Van Dijk as well. Telles is really good. Gelber, maybe hasn't done great in the Prem, but he's actually a decent fullback. Eric Dyer and Adam Webster's absolutely hilariously bad, and their depth is non-existent. But Van Dijk and De Bruyne and Sterling, how? Just how? So yeah, if you ask me for my early prediction on who is going to win, it is going to be Chelsea, and the whole plan of getting parity in the league is probably going to be one fell. But boys and girls, it is time to test out whether we have done it. We put everyone into the tournament. As you can see, Marcel there, Matthias Norman, Trincao, Fabian Schär, Theo Walcott. There were some good options still on the board, and they were still picking random youth players. I'm not quite sure. What is quite cooler, maybe not for the future of English football in Europe, not a single 5-star team left, which I thought was actually really cool. Some 4-star teams, so Villa, Palace, Liverpool, bloody Liverpool. Just want to say though, the tournament mode has so much potential if they just look at NBAs. NBA's my league, you can change the rules, you can do fantasy drafts, you can import rosters. If they did this with tournament mode, the potential is so good. You don't even have a calendar in this. I had to simulate 38 games manually to get through this. And I really want to do more of this, but I also don't just want to be a menu YouTuber. I like gameplay, I like playing a game. But halfway through the season, Chelsea are top. But Newcastle, Brentford, Leeds, Wolves, Burnley, Norwich making up the rest of the top 7. Parity is looking good, boys and girls. Man City in 13th, Arsenal 14th. Man City, by the way, with Bruno Fernandes, Ruben Diaz, Sancho, Aubameyang. Tottenham in 20th is just beautiful. That is what you get for picking Patty B. Their first pick was Dominic Calvert-Lewin, so it's not even that surprising they're 20th, to be perfectly honest. Kane, top scorer. I mean, he is probably the best scorer in the Prem. Arguably the best scorer in Premier League history. Like, definitely not the best player. Thierry Henry is definitely the best player. Fabianski with clean sheets, Lacazette with assists somehow, De Bruyne and Danny Ings being the dirty bastards they are. But here's where it gets interesting. Who won the Premier League after the draft? Leave your predictions, by the way. I'm quite interested who you think. Villa, Spurs and Watford would be the teams getting relegated. But Man United didn't. Southampton. Wait, what? What? Chelsea finished 4th. Who finished? No way. What?
Oh my goodness
yes,
gracious!
Boys and girls, we have done it. Even by accident. The winner of the FIFA 22 fantasy draft is Norwich City and Harry Kane. Norwich, Rodrigo. Their second best player was Alisson. Then they had, I believe, like Jordan Henderson or someone. Fair play. I'd love to do this more. I actually might put in my career next time so I can do some fun gameplay of it as well. Maybe like pick a random team and see if I can rebuild them. Let me know, boys and girls. Would you like to see more of this? I'd love to do more of this, but I also it's so menu-y, and it also took me generally about 2 hours to put the teams together, so if you could leave a like, it'd be really appreciated. But boys and girls, today we redrafted the entire Premier League, and Norwich City, the 20th team with the first pick, were the team that won. You've been a lovely audience. Thank you so much for watching. Peace!